Everybody, welcome to MBODY Yoga, and I'm John. In today's soft flow practice, I'm sharing a pose I recently discovered that I'm calling Kneeling Warrior. It's a simple but powerful stretch for the thighs, your hips, and your inner legs. And it feels amazing if your lower body is pretty tight. So follow this gentle, beginner-friendly flow and see how good your legs can feel in just a few minutes. And if you enjoy practicing with me, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more soft flow yoga. Well, all right, roll out your yoga mat, roll credits, let's begin. Let's begin our practice in seated. Sit up nice and tall and feel free to sit on something soft like a folded blanket or a towel or even a pillow. Just want to get into our breath. Take a few deep breaths. Nice full breath in, filling up your lungs, and exhale for the release. Again, breathing in, exhale. Good. Just some slow, steady breaths just to get settled and focused and tuning into your own body. You're welcome to keep your eyes open for this, and if you do, just keep your eyelids soft or just gaze downward at the floor. Or you can close your eyes completely as you take this journey inside of self. Just listen to the sound of your breath, that calming, oceanic sound, and feel your breath as it flows through you. Let's just take a couple more breaths here in stillness, and we'll add a very simple movement. So when you're ready, let's inhale, extend your arms out and up. Good lengthening, stretch, reach high, exhale, reach out, and then all the way back down to complete that round of breath. Let's do that again. Inhale, reaching out and up, and be sure you're breathing and moving at your own pace. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. All the way up. And here's our release. Good. Just a little circle of the shoulders here. Let's transition to our hands and knees and just warm up our spine and pelvis. Here you might want to use a blanket, and actually for this entire practice you may want to use a blanket just to protect your knees and your wrists here. So here, cat-cow pose. We'll inhale and just tip the chin up, arching the back. And there's our back bend. Exhale, tuck the pelvis under, feel the natural curve of the spine, and draw your belly button up toward your spine. That's cat. Let's do that a few more times. So feel the pelvis tip back, belly drops, heart opens, lift the chin as you inhale, and exhale. Tuck the pelvis under, rounded back, chin to chest. Now, most of our practice will be here on the floor, and I've put together a nice flow for us to move into our featured pose, which I'm calling Kneeling Warrior. And like I said, it works the legs, gets in the hips and inner legs for sure. And to start that initial stretch for the inner legs, we're actually going to introduce frog pose, but a very gentle version of the posture. All right, finish the breath that you're on and take one more. And we'll just pause briefly in this neutral tabletop position. We're going to begin with that frog pose, and this is how I like to do it. If you happen to be on hardwood floor or just floor in general, this could really work nicely for you. So I'm going to fold my mat just to have some padding for my one knee, and then on the floor I'm placing the blanket for my other knee, like this. So padding for both sides. And then for our frog pose, just gently sliding that blanket out, but not really going too far. Just about here, because I don't want too deep of a stretch, just a light stretch, just to introduce some lengthening in the inner legs here. I'm just holding myself up and just taking a few deep breaths. So a gentle frog pose as we get into our hip work with the introduction to kneeling warrior. So let's take about 3 more breaths. I'm going to go slightly deeper, not too much. And with hip work and inner leg work, you want to be mindful of how deep you go, because in this practice, especially poses like this, gravity tends to take over, and you don't want to be pulled down too hard, because that will be stressful on the body. Or I'm going to squeeze the inner legs as they draw that blanket back in. So that's one way that you can do your frog pose. If you happen to be on the floor, you can slide out and slide back in. But of course, you can do this on carpet. Alrighty. So I'm going to use my blanket for continual padding. Let's come back to hands and knees, and let's get set up for the sequence I've put together. So we're going to start here. Let's do one more cat-cow, and then come back to a neutral tabletop posture. I'm going to tap my right foot and just swing the right foot off to the side, extending left leg back, keeping the toes on the floor, and then opening up to the left side of the room. So you can see I'm in a side plank pose. I like this posture not only for the upper body strength, but also gets into the hips, mainly because of the knee on the floor and the bent knee on the floor, and I can really feel this in my hips. I'm going to take my left arm overhead just to get a little stretch through the left side of the body. A couple more breaths here, and this is going to be the transition into kneeling warrior. I'm just going to shift over just a little bit. So I have this left leg extended, but I need to bend the knee and just plant the foot on the floor with the toes pointing to the other side of the room here. And that's going to help me lift up, which is good core work here. And you can always adjust your anchor back there. And here's our warrior 2 position. So our kneeling warrior 2. Holding here. I'm going to take this a little deeper. I'm going to wiggle the left foot forward here and begin to lunge this direction. This is where you start to get into the right inner thigh. Again, just swinging that foot around just to help with some balance. And then rotate the arms here. So I'm placing left hand on the floor. I'm actually going to bring in my block just for a little lift. And the right arm going up and overhead. So this is where we really get into the legs. So we moved from our kneeling warrior 2 to our lunging side angle, kneeling side angle. And I'm getting into this left inner leg quite nicely and the right inner leg, like that frog pose. Now here's the next little transition. I'm going to bring this right arm down, swing my foot just to the back of the mat there, and I can just continue this lunge and just carefully sink. This is where I was talking about gravity taking over, because gravity is going to certainly pull the hips down towards the ground. So you just want to be mindful of how this feels for you so you're not overstretching. Again, we're getting into this nice deep lunge for this front leg in the right hip flexor of the back leg. And then to finish, I'm going to lift up and sit back. I'm going to bring my block with me and actually bring it to my left side here and do a stretch for the hamstring of this left leg. I'm just propping myself up with my fingers, slight lean forward. Now you can bend this knee a lot here if you'd like and just fold. And it's okay if this back is rounded. So this is nice. So on my right side, I'm getting kind of this hero pose, getting a stretch for the thigh and that knee area, but a wonderful hamstring stretch on that left leg. So that's our sequence. So I'm going to carefully come back up, move my block around to the front here, lean to the right so I can bring this knee back. You can see I've totally flipped around here. And we're ready for the other side. Alrighty, so I'm going to do a few cat-cow movements. Let's do our side plank. So I'm going to make a kickstand with the left foot, extending right leg back, opening up, and taking right arm overhead. Reach. Good extension here. Making sure the pelvis is pushing forward. And that it gets a nice hip opener here. And again, I need to make a slight adjustment, just sliding down a little bit. Ready for our kneeling warrior. So I'm going to bend the right knee, pointing the toes the other direction, using core work to come up. And there's our warrior 2 position, just changing this anchor for a little balance. Starting here, but now getting into that side angle lunge sensation. So I'm going to wiggle the toes forward just so I don't aggravate this knee as I lunge, moving that direction. Now, since I don't have my block here, I can actually just place my arm on my thigh and reaching overhead. And again, we're getting in the hamstring here, the hip, and the inner leg of the left side. Wonderful pose. I like to think of these as multifunctional positions. 2 more breaths. I'm going to lift a little, bring this arm down, bring the fingers to the floor, swing that left leg to the back, and continue the lunge, going forward here. Really feeling in the left thigh and hip flexor. Nice deep lunge for the right inner leg here as well. I'm going to start lifting up and sitting back. I think I can reach my block. Bring it in, just so I don't have to sit down too deeply. I can actually sit right there on the block so I can manage this stretch for the right leg. So a nice floor exercise, really getting to the legs and hips for strength, length, endurance, and that wonderful stretch. We're going to come back up. Lean to my left so I can bring the right leg back around, finishing with a few cat-cow poses. Good. And then completing the practice here. Now you're certainly welcome to repeat that sequence. You can just watch the video again and go through that sequence again. And then when you're complete, you can come to seated or even lie down in Shavasana. We'll take a few deep breaths here. And one last movement together. We'll inhale, extend arms out and up. Exhale, bring palms together and down to your heart, taking one more full and complete breath. And as we come to the close of our practice, we bow together saying, Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.